Hey, welcome to Dev Pirates Radio. This is Dev Pirates Radio, where we challenge us all to push our limits and learn new things. Follow us as we create a game from start to finish, detailing how we accomplish each distinct development task. Contact us at contact@devpirates.com. With me, as always, is Pete.
Hello.
And I am Matt.
All right.
So, where did I put our blog? Oh, there it is. All right. So, our last thing was create a title screen and an enemy.
All righty. You want to go first?
Sure. I don't really have much to share because it was really just a graphics thing.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
So here we go. There we go.
Cool. It does look like a bit of work.
So, I created a title screen.
Did you draw that one pixel at a time, or did you use did you pixelate it after you drew it?
Well, I used some lines, which are still perfectly valid, even with the traditionalists of pixel art.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to go the purist route and be like, you should be drawing with a mouse.
Pixel art isn't just drawing one pixel at a time, but each pixel is important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doing lines, doing fills, and stuff like that are perfectly allowed. So overall, I did the general sketch, which was just basic outlines of everything. This is font still, in the endangered part and the Ingums part.
Mm-hmm.
The E and K I did by hand. I think I'm going to do the rest of them that way.
By hand?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
But give them a similar look.
I was looking at the M's and the N's and E's to see if that was a font that you were using.
No, this was not a font. This was hand.
Right, but the rest of it was.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
And then I did line art stuff for this, and then filled it in, and then went in and edited things that were known as jaggies.
Okay.
Jaggies are kind of tough to explain without a demonstration, but I don't have my graphics thing up at the moment. Actually, I think I do. I can explain a jaggy. Okay, so here is a line. It's not a very jaggy line. Damn it. All right, so if I draw a line like this, there's going to be a lot of problems, one of which is you generally don't want that. So we'd have to get rid of all of these connection ones because the general rule is 1 pixel thick generally. You can break rules, obviously, but you know where it is. But you're going to come across these parts right here where you're going along, oh, what the hell? And this may not look like something out of place to most people, but to someone who is familiar with pixel art, this is not good. It goes like 4 pixels, 2 pixels, 3, and then 2. Now the computer thinks that that's good, but humans don't. And so if I fix that, you'll notice it looks a little less jaggy, a little smoother. So that's pretty much what jaggies are.
So a jaggy is like the computer thinks that it's a smooth line because they're off only by 1 pixel length, but humans have a problem with them because it's going from smaller to bigger than smaller again.
Right. And yeah, pretty much. It's just kind of like we like things to be smooth and transitional, and computers don't care. They just do whatever line they think you wanted.
Okay.
So you also notice here it goes like here to 1 and then 2, 2, 2.
Mhm.
And so I would have to fix that like that. And then here again we have another one that's out of place. And then there we go. It's smoothed out.
Hmm.
No more jaggies.
Interesting.
So that's pretty much what jaggies are. However, if this were doing some kind of a shape, like if this were a transition to a different thing, then it would have been perfectly fine and I would have left it.
Right. Okay.
So there are always exceptions to the jaggy rule. There's exceptions to everything. Basically, the only thing is every pixel is extremely important, and that's the biggest thing about pixel art. So every pixel has to display a lot of information.
Yeah, it sounds like a very...
It's an artistic method. There's less science to it.
Mhm. But it sounds very involved still.
It is pretty involved, even if you use fills and lines. You'll notice here you can still see some jaggies. Sometimes you have to live with that because sometimes the angle isn't exactly what you want. Basically, the only non-jaggy angles are 8 directions. You need more directions in the real world.
Right.
There are ways to smooth it out. I could go in and edit the ones that look jaggy and like soften it up a little bit. And so it would look like a smoother line. I haven't done that kind of detailing in this image yet.
Okay.
But yeah, even though it looks jaggy, like you can see the little jags, even on this size image.
Yeah, I can see them.
I could still smooth them out, even with pixel art stuff.
Cool. Well, it looks good. That'll be our title screen, right?
Yeah, that's going to be our title screen. It's going to go through a few more revisions. That was just the mock-up or rough draft.
Okay. Well, we don't need to show everyone our chats.
Yeah, we do. We'll show them your face.
That was bad.
And that was it for my stuff.
Cool. Let's move over to mine. All right. So, all right. So this green blob right here, let me, there we go. This green blob right here is the enemy that I created. I didn't create any art assets. I didn't do anything snazzy. I just created just a basic enemy, and it'll just follow our main character here around like so. Oh, hold on. I added a character because I was doing some debugging. Anyway, here we go. So it'll follow the character around. Eventually, I'm going to replace the sphere with whatever art assets Matt gives me for these various characters. And this was just to get used to the idea of characters moving around on their own. A couple really basic things that people might overlook is that the first thing you need to do when you're dealing with in Unreal, when you're dealing with pawns moving on their own, they need a nav mesh, which, hold on. If you hit P out here and things turn green, you've got a good nav mesh. But if I toss something out here, say like that, it has to recalculate, hold on. Okay. So now you see that this sphere won't be able to go anywhere on this section. And that's because the nav mesh calculates where this can go, so that when the sphere is trying to catch me, I'm sorry about the screen tearing, folks. It knows to walk around it because of that nav mesh that I put down. And same thing with the house. So it'll walk around the house instead of trying to go through it.
Beauty. I always hated doing pathfinding.
Yeah, this makes that a lot easier.
But I liked it the first time I did a pathfinding calculation.
Yeah, I don't have to do any vectors or anything like that. I probably will eventually have to do something like that because we're going to have more complicated enemies, and we'll want interesting stuff to happen when you fight them. But for now, just these basic dumb enemies. Like you were talking about how one of the insect enemies is just going to wander around. It's never going to really actually chase the character.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a dumb wanderer.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's actually going to be more complicated than this thing that's following me around.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to delete that box since it is unnecessary. And then, yeah, have that recalculate. So let me show you some. So this is the slime blueprint. I just made it so that whenever the slime hits the main character, it causes her to take damage. This is just a custom function we made. Actually, I made that pretty early on in these tutorials, but now I've made it so that anything can call it. It's not just by hitting the H key, I think I put it. So yeah, when she just sits there, boom, you see her health go down and her adrenaline go up. Okay. Viewport, it's just a sphere. Nothing special. I'm not even going to go into materials or anything because we're not using any of those in here. So did I put anything? No. And I think that was all there was in that guy. But the fun stuff all happens in the controller. Now the controller is an AI component where this really simple thing happens. So when the game starts, it grabs the main character, which is Sabron. It gets her pawn, grabs a location, and says, "Simple, move to there." And that's just a built-in function in Unreal I just plugged into. I've actually been playing with more complicated AI stuff, and that will show up later. So yeah, every tick, it updates her location and just says, "Start moving in that direction." So yeah, that is all I did. Can't think of anything else. Did I need to do anything else?
No. It was just get a character moving or an enemy moving around.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to.
I think I put kill the enemy, but that was kind of an extra one.
Damn it. All right. Well, if I wanted to be able to kill the enemy, then I would just put something here like health. Turn that into a float. Set the default to 1. And then obviously once I get the attack thing done for Sabron, then I would create a custom event. You don't mind. Humor me for a second, Matt.
You should have 2 different events.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to get hit, but I mean, you're also going to have 2 different states. One of them for dying, and one of them for dead.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll have to create some states, and to do that, I'll actually just toss in here a blueprint. Oops. Nope.
Hopefully, it's going to be something we'll inherit to all enemies.
Yes. And it is in here somewhere. Hold on.
Think you're looking for enums?
Yes. Where are they hiding?
Try blueprints.
There we go. Enum. So this will be states. And
no. States is too vague. Do
enemy states.
Enemy states.
Okay, rename. Enemy states. So, and then in here, we can just keep hitting this new thing. And we can say, even just simple things like walk left, hit. And then save that and go back into the slime. We can actually grab that. Get enemy, not number of entries, enemy states. Yeah, here we go. So we can take that, and when it gets hit, we can actually say, hey, so set enemy. Oh, hold on. I needed to create this in here. Enemy states. So we need to plug in the variable into this character. So this will be slime states, since we're using it specifically for this guy. And we can say get hit, set slime states. And we can say get hit, and then we can do all kinds of fun stuff. Should I keep going? It'll only take a second.
No, this is. I think we're good for now.
All right. I'm just having fun.
Well, once you get used to the Unreal Engine, I know a lot of people think it's really daunting. A lot of people recommend, oh, well, use Unity. It's easier. I actually found Unreal Engine to be a lot easier, a lot sooner than the Unity engine for the complicated stuff that I like to do.
It's proven to be. It was a bit of a steep learning curve at first. I'll grant you that, but I think all of them will be. But after you start to get into it, like I've gotten to the point where those tutorials aren't telling me anything that I don't already know.
Yeah. I'm not saying Unity is still a really good engine.
Sure.
It just doesn't jive with my worky flow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We tried Unity actually a while back. Or did you try it too?
I tried Unity several years ago. I know a lot's changed and it's improved a lot.
Sure.
But one of the other attractive features of Unreal Engine is the ability to jump into C++.
Right. Instead of what, C# or whatever scripting languages they use.
C#, or I think you can also do JavaScript. There's hardly any resources for doing JavaScript scripts. But because most people just use the C#. But that's fine too. But the way they work is they run as scripts, whereas in Unreal Engine, they run as actual compiled code. So
right.
There's a little bit more of an advantage. Plus, you're not worried about going through the interface to see what's possible through the interface. Anything you can do in C++, you can do in the Unreal Engine under the C++ stuff.
Right. And well, I guess what I've been doing mostly is blueprints. So those would actually run closer to the sprints in Unity, or to the scripts in Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we do need some performance enhancements, I'll write it in C++, but it's just so much faster to prototype with the blueprints.
I think for now, since we're indie game developers, I don't think we need to worry about performance until we hit a serious issue.
Right. The AI, if you get enough of it going at once, we might need to just put that into C++. Because from what I understand, it's like a 10 times increase in performance when you do it in C++.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll fix that in the future.
Maybe. I don't see any reason for it to stay that far separate. So.
Well, we can probably, like, one of the things you could probably do, even with the blueprints, is have enemies share domains.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Like enemy AI can share, like that thing that you showed, that little field.
The controller?
Yeah, the mesh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this.
Not every single enemy needs its own mesh.
The bounds. Right. Yeah. They can share stuff like that. And actually, I might only need to call like character location once, but you just have to compare it against each individual enemies.
Yeah, we could find a way, even with blueprints, to call the character instantiation only once for all characters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could toss that into a variable.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of ways that you can improve things before you hit C++. I'm not just trying to discourage C++ because I love it, but you shouldn't dive into something you don't need to.
Right. And since we need to get this done fast, and
because we don't have very much free time.
Right. We're more worried about getting stuff done fast than we are about getting stuff as fast to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our next tasks.
Okay.
I guess basically you're going to be covering attacking.
Yes, so not just Savron's attack and do damage and all that, but she also, at least one enemy is going to be able to be killed by her.
Yeah. So an enemy's going to die, she's going to get hurt, and she's going to attack.
Yeah. Did we want her to be invulnerable when she gets hit?
Yeah, for time.
Like maybe a second? We'll play with
maybe half a second.
Okay.
Second or half a second, doesn't matter right now. Say a second for now. That will have to be resolved in playtesting.
Should I add a knockback when she gets hit?
I
mean, this is all stuff we can do in the future, but you know, I like to think about where we're going. So if I have
we could probably do a small knockback.
Okay.
Like maybe half a square.
Okay.
I don't want it to be too annoying.
Right.
Then my task is I need to do the graphics for the HUD and the title, so the buttons, and I'm probably going to be doing a few more details on the title screen.
Okay.
To polish it out a bit more.
Okay.
So we have to go through our development stuff. So I edited and uploaded a Dev Pirates Radio. So I need to do another one this week. I did uploaded in podcasts. We need to do another one this week. Yes. We still need to write a small roadmap of tasks. I've been adding a few tasks to our task list.
Yes, I need to get on that as well.
I need to finish the tutorial. Damn.
Oh yeah, I think I just need to publish mine. There might be a few tweaks I need to do for what I did last time.
Yeah, I pretty much need to throw images up there. And then I should be good to go on that. I need to write a tutorial for creating a title screen. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. It's pretty much just design and then draw.
Right.
You need to do one for creating an enemy. I need to create an enemy sprites for you and attack animations for Savron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need to write Poster Deck Fast 2. You need to write a tutorial for attacks. I need to create GFX for HUD and title screen, not tittle screen.
Sorry about that.
All right. Zombie King, we need to work on pages. Bloodbath, we need to find a way to test it. I haven't worked on the web playable version. For Ride, I worked on the outro, the spawns for all of Zone 3, so I need to work on the backgrounds.
Okay.
And then Zone 3 is done. I'll create the GIFs for all of that.
Okay.
And we should be good. And then Udify lists, I still do audio links and for the podcast. I think for our personal podcast, for our other one, I think I need to add in an about page. Shows us, so we have a little bit more information. And I think that's it.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's all for me as well. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Beauty.
Bye.